Hey, what's going on? It's Lending Bent, and there is a lot going on that I wanted to make a quick video to go over a lot of stuff that I have seen that is going on in the news, and a lot of things that people have reached out to me that I'm working with when they're obtaining a mortgage that might be a concern. So the biggest thing that I always get, especially lately, especially with this new administration, people think rates have dropped. Rates are consistent right now. People are assuming that rates will go down to the 2s and the 3s. I do not see that personally happening for a very, very long time. I can be wrong, but I do not see that happening. I do see that rates could go down as low as the 5s, high, mid 4s. But for rates to drop down to the 2s and 3s, I do not see that happening anytime soon. So that's a common thing that I do get a lot of questions regarding is rates. But I am optimistic it can happen, but I don't feel as if right now with what's going on with the market that rates will go down to the 2s and 3s anytime soon. So that's just something to keep in mind. So if you're someone that is thinking about getting out into the market to purchase a piece of property, don't have the mindset of let me wait until rates go down to the 2s and 3s for me to go out in the market and purchase a piece of property. And the reason why I would say that's not a good mindset to have is because you have to look at the deal. So put it this way. If you found a house, just hypothetically, you found a house and it's in a neighborhood, every single house in that neighborhood is valued at $400,000, right? Let's say you find a house, it needs a good amount of work, nothing major where you have to knock half the house down or rebuild half of the house. Let's say it needs 25-30% renovation, right? Majority of the house, 80% of the house is really good to go, but 25-30% of the house it needs some good loving, right? It needs some improvements on the property. And someone is selling that house in that neighborhood for, let's say, $300,000, right? Some people may say, oh, you don't find a deal like that. That's not true. Some people find deals like this. Now, it just all depends on who you know. I have found deals for investors that I have worked with where an investor has called me and said, hey, I'm looking for a piece of property, or clients that I have closed end up turning into investors. And this is a real story. And they said, hey, I'm looking for a house at this price point in this area. And I get a phone call from someone that I've closed or just building relationships with everybody within my industry over the years. And they say, hey, I have a neighbor that's getting ready to sell their house. I have a neighbor, he just passed away. I knew his family very well, and they're getting ready to liquidate the house. I'm not sure if you would be interested in buying it. They're selling it for this amount. And I say, okay, hold on one second. I know someone that might buy the property. And I connect my past client to the person that's selling their home, and they're able to get a deal. And they're getting a deal at a pretty steep discount because maybe the house needs a good amount of renovation, and they can go in, get the house for a good price, fix it up, live in the property, or fix it up, rent it out, and sell it later on in the year. I have seen situations like that. I've seen where individuals find a house in that situation, buy it, move in, fix the house up. 5 years down the line, they sell the house. They want to move into a bigger house. So it is possible, but the moral of the story is making sure you find a good deal. So most people I get a lot of times, especially last year as well, and a little bit of individuals this year, they say, or they'll mention, hey, I don't want to buy a house now because it's too expensive. Rates are too high, houses are too expensive, and I don't want to have to deal with it. And I always tell them, it's always good to start a game plan and work with a loan officer that will put a game plan together for you. So if you have things going on with your credit, we can tackle that right now up front. If you have things going on with your income and you're in the transition of moving to a new job, okay, we can maybe assist with that and help you create a budget while you work on your credit, save for your down payment, look for different options to get you in the right lane so that you don't have too much hiccups once you start the process of purchasing a home. It's a lot smoother, right? I'm pretty sure everybody that I have closed and I have met, nobody likes additional stress and nobody likes additional speed bumps. So they want to make sure everything is pretty much as smooth as possible so they can close. So that's the most important thing. So if you can at least get a game plan flowing, you know, okay, I'm going to work on this. Or let's say you're in a perfect situation. Your credit is good, your income is good. You just need to save a little bit for your down payment. As you're saving for your down payment, you connect with me as a loan officer and you know, okay, I qualify for $350,000. I want to stay within that price point so that I don't go over my budget for a monthly payment, for a mortgage. Now that you know that, when you're out shopping for a home, or let's say a great deal comes across and your budget is $350 and you find a house for $250 in a $350 community, you may say, okay, this house, they are selling this house for $250,000. In this neighborhood, the average house is selling for $350,000, but I'm getting a really steep discount. Let me do my due diligence. I am going to live in this house as my primary home. Okay, this house needs some paint. This house needs some renovations. The rooms, I have to renovate all of the rooms in the house. And when I say renovate, let's say it's a minor renovation. So some new drywall, paint, the kitchen the cabinets need to be upgraded. Everything else seems pretty good. You need some new appliances. And let's say you want to rip out the carpet in the house and tile the whole house and paint the outside of the house. Other than that, the house is not too bad, in rough shape. You need some yard work. It just needs some good loving. And you're getting it for $250,000. Remember, you're in a community where the average house is for $350,000. But you are getting a good discount, maybe because you knew the person or someone connected you to this house, or you worked with a loan officer that just knew that deal and you guys were working on a deal and that's something that you were looking for, and they connected you to that person to get that deal for $250,000. These deals are out there. Are they out there every day? No. Are you going to see these deals every day, every week? No. It's also a patience game. You have to be patient. So when you come across this deal, you can say, okay, I'm ready to go. My credit's good. I saved a little bit more for my down payment. You found this house later down the line and you're getting it for $250, a good discount. You go through the process and let's say you call me and say, hey, I am going to live in this house as my primary home and I want to renovate this home. Is there a loan program out there for me? Okay, let's check it out. Maybe we can go with a primary home renovation loan, going conventional, going FHA. Let's see what we can do. Structure it out. Let's say you qualify for a 203K loan with FHA. That allows you to move into the home as your primary because you're stating this is your primary home. You get funds to renovate the home. However, it has to be verified, which we can go into detail in another video. But they would want to make sure that the rehab funds that they are giving you to renovate this property is being used to renovate this home. So they definitely will come out there, inspect, make sure things are getting done, depending on how that deal is structured. And once it's done, and once it's done, they'll verify everything is done. And now you just got a really good deal on the home. And let's say, for example, you buy the house for $250 and the renovations altogether cost you $50,000. You still positive because the house is in this neighborhood. Remember, selling for $350. So technically you're all in $300,000. You still have $50,000 of equity in the home. Let's say if the rehab costs less, let's say the rehab is $30,000, right? So you bought the house for $250, you put $30,000 into the home to do the minor renovations. Now you have $280 into the home. You still have a good chunk of equity in the home within a year. Within the year alone. So if you live in the house for a couple of years, let's say 5 years, and the values in that area continue to go up for the homes, you're in a good situation. You're in a good situation with that house. People that bought the house for, let's say, $300,000, let's say it goes up to $400,000. They're in a good situation, yes, but you got it for $250 with your renovations. You have more equity. So when you sell, you're gonna be making more money on the house, right? If you look at it at that standpoint. So it's always good to at least connect with a loan officer, form a game plan. So if that's something that you want to do, and you're looking for a good deal, and let's say you are willing to be patient until that right deal comes along, then it's always important to create a good game plan, right? Most people, and I know we live in a time where people want things right away, and that's fine. If you want things right away, then we have to make sure, please make sure that things are in order. Your credit is in order, income is in order, because most times I get people, they go and look at a brand new construction home and they find the best home that they love. It's beautiful. It has everything that they want. And then they call me and they say, hey, I'm ready to move forward with this house. I'm ready to go. I get ready to write the contract up and sign it, and I want this house. They come to me, I pull credit. Credit is a 400. Income doesn't qualify for the house. And they're in a situation where, okay, your credit is a 400. Your income is not quite there to help you qualify. So you're not ready to buy this house. And then people get upset and they tend to say, I'm not buying a house. I'm going to rent forever. When all of this can be avoided once you have a proper game plan. So it's a big thing. Game planning is a big thing.